Hello everyone, I am Sanidhya Kultresh, student ambassador from ADR Bar. Today I welcome Jamshed Mistry sir, independent counsel and founder of International Legal Alliance. We welcome you sir and thank you for joining us today. So sir, let's start with your brief introduction. So can you tell our viewers about your, can you brief about your introduction?
Certainly. Yeah. Thank you for having me here. Uh, yeah, I mean, I graduated in commerce from the HR College of Commerce in Mumbai. And subsequently, in fact, I was first studying for my cost accountancy. And then on the way, I stumbled upon law. I joined the KC Law College for a couple of months, and then uh, a very good friend and a colleague actually suggested that why don't you join government law college? And in those days it was so different from now. I actually just walked across to government law college and said uh, I'd like to join the 3-year law course, and they said you're welcome. And so it was very different from the scenario now. And then subsequently, after graduating, I also decided that I'll do a postgraduate diploma, special diploma in labor and service law, because that was an area that I was interested in. And yeah, so I worked with uh, you know a law firm, Crawford Bailey and Company, for about a year, and then I met my senior, Mr. Sudhir Talsania, who's a designated senior advocate. And yeah, I joined his chamber. And you know as they say, once a senior always a senior. And yeah, I think you're, and then you sort of you grow along the way. And then high court happened, supreme court happened. And in 2011 I got a chance to do a work and travel to Canada. So they offered me uh, membership to the Canadian Bar. So I'm an associate member with the Canadian Bar Association now uh, for the last 10 years. And and then I also, in 2016, realized that there is a huge need to get lawyers across the world, together, crossing geography. So what we did was I purchased the domain name, and then we've now formed what is called the International Legal Alliance. It is a global virtual network of lawyers pretty much across the world. We have best friend relationships in 153 countries, and we are sort of a strong, solid group. You name the area of law, it is, and that is actually uh, you know how both Mr. Samir Shah and Mr. Mendes are part of our uh, alliance, and that's how ADR Bar was also thought about. So yeah, this is in nutshell. Okay, what type of law do I practice? Yes, I'm basically in India. I'm have what is called counsel practice. That means I argue in court as a counsel, and I've been doing that for the last 26 years now.
Thank you sir, that was really a great journey of yours. And now, sir, can you have been playing an instrumental role in establishing ADR Bar? So, can you tell about this and what are your future plans regarding ADR Bar?
Sure. The need for alternate dispute resolution is more sort of uh, acute today than it ever was. I mean, it is. I mean, when you call it alternate, I think that also needs to change. It is uh, probably it should become the main system, and now litigation should probably take a step back. So maybe one day that is what it will be. But I think you know. when ADR was established, the whole objective was that you must have better, swifter, more affordable uh, ways of, resolving disputes. And we sort of thought about it. In fact, Samir and I, we were traveling to Pune, and then we discussed this because our International Legal Alliance, we act as a think tank, and we said, he was obviously very passionate about this, and he said this is something that I've always had in my mind. So I said, then why are we wasting time? Let's just set it up. So that's how this whole concept germinated. That's how then he spoke to Mr. Mendes, and then of course now it is registered as a trust in Goa for compliance sake, and the that's how it kind of unfolded. And one of the areas that I am looking after over there is the in media and entertainment, because you see, in media and entertainment law, what happens is that there is this uh, innate sort of over a period of time, people just rush to court. And I think, okay, in copyright matters, it is necessary because that's what the law says. But in so many other areas where you can, I mean, whether it's contractual or otherwise, it is definitely possible to resolve issues quickly, smoothly, and now with the with virtual being available, uh, you know things can be resolved virtually. And other interesting is media entertainment law is probably one area of the law where there's such a lot of commonality internationally. The contracts are very, very similar, and so many different sort of areas that can be uh, you know uh, looked at uh, uh, as a result of the availability of the law. So that is why we thought that introduction of uh, ADR in the media and entertainment industry, especially in India, would be a very, very useful and very progressive step. And that's something that that's the vertical that uh, I've been given the responsibility to lead. I mean, apart from the other areas as well. So I think, and we need to take this forward as quickly as possible.
Yeah, sir. So as you have mentioned, like you are the vertical head of media and entertainment law. So can you tell us more about like what the activities we can see and what is your vision behind setting up this vertical?
So, very interestingly, while I was, studying and interning for law, I've done a lot of work in the media and entertainment space myself. I mean, I've done backstage for, you know, uh, uh, famous fashion designers like Hemant Trivedi. We used to do, when certain rock bands used to come down, like Brian Adams. We had worked backstage at that time. I'm talking about right in the origins. A few college friends we had got together and started an inter-college fashion competition many years ago, and that kind of followed me subsequently. Even while I was studying law, you'll be surprised. Uh, Sort of some famous actors and models in those days, they would actually come to my house to ask for advice. And once I remember telling one of their father who had come, I said, sir, can you please come and meet me some other time, because I am have to study for my exam. I was not even a full-fledged lawyer at that time. And very interesting. You see, in those days, the media and entertainment law was never taught as a subject. So we had to self-study. We had to do a lot of work. Even LexisNexis and others were it wasn't hard. It was difficult to find good precedents. So I used to actually collect, uh, you know, go to shows, ask the organizers, can you please, give me copies of your contracts, and I used to study them. Entertainment tax used to be a big problem. That is, I think, one reason why I actually even took up this. I mean, they used to charge some, ridiculous amounts, like 75% of the cost of the ticket used to be entertainment duty under the Bombay Entertainment Duties Act 1923. And slowly all that is gone now. Of course, it's merged with GST. But this it has always been a very important area of my practice. In fact, even my travel to Canada was because of a client who was in the media and entertainment space. So we've studied it uh, very closely, and we've understood. In fact, media and entertainment law, if you see as an area internationally, it is one of the sort of the most lucrative uh, areas. I mean, that's not the reason why I took it up, but it's very interesting. And I mean, you've seen how the world of media has grown and is growing from time to time. Now you have the OTT, and you have so many interesting areas. I was involved in the audiovisual co-production treaty that has been signed between India and Canada. So we have a deep and a very sort of uh, interesting understanding of this part of the law. And one area and one segment which definitely requires attention, especially in India, is the dispute resolution. Because otherwise, taking cases to court, and uh, courts are so overburdened. You have a single judge hearing IPR matters in the Bombay High Court, for example, and things could unnecessarily take so much time. And if you see on the other side, you know there aren't, I mean, yes, now we've got different associations are there. They have sort of their in-house lawyers they're trying to get. But I think overall there is a huge need to encourage this not only swift resolution, but also specialized knowledge of this subject, which is now so vast, and it's so international. So that's the other you know interesting feature. So you must also know what is happening in other parts of the world. So I think that, and that is the culture that we would like this area to develop, and bring us on par with exactly what is happening around the world. So that's why I've taken up this area and responsibility.
Really, that's great, sir, that you have been heading the Department of Media Entertainment Law. So, sir, can you like tell us like about the students? So, students are not much aware about this departments and all. But can you tell us like what activities they can expect in India?
Sure. No, definitely. So, I mean, of course, this is very much at the preliminary stage. Definitely, you know, knowledge sessions about this area. We also, for example, what would be wonderful today, at least a student who's studying either a 3 year or a 5 year course, and is sort of showing interest in that area of the law, uh, can, or rather should, if you want to do, take up entertainment law as a subject, or if other the other aspect. Suppose you're working as an in-house, counsel, or a lawyer in a corporate or anything else. It's extremely important that you know as to how to resolve issues, how to save time, and with time, obviously money, uh, but effective resolution of any dispute. I mean, also, if you want to become a good conciliator, then what do you do? How, what, I mean, what should your approach be? So all these knowledge sessions ADR will be conducting over a period of time. Of course, some may be, generic for, all areas of the law, but there would be some which would be very specific to this area. uh, and of course, now there are so many different rights. I mean, for example, if you are a performer, there are performers rights. You must know all these things. You must know how to save it. Suppose you are, if you want to sort of, there's a dispute on, uh, say, so say you're a script writer, okay, and something has gone wrong, and you suddenly find that your uh, uh, lines or sometimes episodes have been copied. And what do you do? Okay, how do you, I mean, the today, the only option that you have is to rush to court and try and, get a stay. The court also, these days, is seem to be very clear that if you approach the court at the last minute, whether it's a film or, an OTT series, they're very reluctant to grant you an injunction. What about damages? Our courts are very, very slow in granting damages. So that area of the law, I mean, that you might actually be able to resolve in a fair resolution by taking it to the ADR system. That is, either through a process of, mediation, where certain disputes involving, sometimes, in these creative fields, ego plays a lot of big role. So if there is a good mediator who can resolve an issue which can be done quietly, and, no names are sullied, so be it. So these are, interesting things which we will, and we have some very, very fine, uh, extremely experienced lawyers who are going to be a part of this system. Not only lawyers, we are also are including persons who work within the industry, you know who can contribute. People, uh, for example, people who, maybe, say, vice president of a very large company who, distributes films. That person can be there. There can be technical people. So all these areas will be covered, and, we will get experts to come to speak. So it will be, very interesting for a student who actually, you know uh, joins as a student with the ADR bar, and, because law is a lifelong learning. I mean, I'm learning every single day. I'm sure everybody else is. So it's fascinating. Now today, the other aspect is, you have, NFTs and other, the cyber part of it. So it's fascinating where it can go.
Really, sir, like you have joined us and your experience in media entertainment law will definitely benefit the student members. So, sir, like any message you would like to give to student members, ambassadors, and our viewers?
For sure. I mean, I think, as I said, you know, if you have chosen law as a career, I mean, there's a age-old phrase. They say law can be a jealous mistress, but I think another very important phrase is that, it is, uh, law is continuous education. So it's uh, even after you retire, or you think you've retired, you learn, because law involves the most important component, which is, people. And especially if, you know uh, on the creative side, I think you will never stop learning, and technology is really taking off, and we've seen, it growing so quickly. that it is it's fascinating. I mean, I was involved in trying to get live streaming of cases, and we have argued along with senior advocate Indira Jaising in the Supreme Court to get that started. So again, I think we are in a very interesting space now, and as a student, just keep your mind, eyes and ears open, and keep learning as much as you can. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for joining us today. So I would like to end this interview here and see you soon on this vertical end and meeting you in physical soon. Thank you, sir.
Certainly. Thank you so much.